And we kick it off with the hot topic of the hour. The House Oversight Committee holding the first impeachment inquiry hearing against President Biden yesterday. It saw sparks fly between Republicans and Democrats. Watch this.
If the Republicans had a smoking gun or even a dripping water pistol, they would be presenting it today, but they've got nothing on Joe Biden.
If we had a box of all the foreign money the Bidens took, it would have reached to the ceiling.
Yeah. This is not a serious inquiry. This is not a serious hearing.
Hunter Biden referred to access to his father as the keys to his family's only asset. Those words are going to come back and haunt Hunter Biden.
The only thing the president can be guilty of here is being a father.
This image shows an email between Hunter Biden and his business associates stating the setup of equity in a Chinese-owned energy venture. Who else was getting a cut?
This is an embarrassment. An embarrassment to the time and people of this country.
Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer also now officially subpoenaing the bank records of the president's son, Hunter Biden, and his brother, James Biden, as part of this inquiry. Cheryl Casoni, your thoughts.
Maria, let's be the 360 version of why we are here and why these hearings got underway yesterday under James Comer. Because, and this is what Jonathan Turley put in his written statement that he submitted to the committee before he sat down into the witness chair. And it is the illusion of access. Millions generated for the Bidens. This is in the record. There are witnesses. There are documents that show that there is very, very good solid reasons why these hearings were happening. Of course, the Democrats tried to make a farce of it. They kept bringing up President Trump during the hearings, trying to change the conversation. They were bringing up the shutdown because they think, well, this is all ridiculous. Well, Maria, it's not. And let me tell you why. Because if you look at even what, again, the witness testimonies will say, and the record shows that, look, the president, there's accusations he lied about key facts in his foreign dealings. The president, the focus of a multi-million-dollar influence peddling scheme, and he may have benefited from corruption through millions of dollars sent to his family, as well as more direct possible benefits. The illusion of access. So remember what Nancy Mace has told you and has told me. She has seen the records, and she says that there are millions and millions of dollars that have been transferred through this morass of LLCs, Maria, that, believe me, even the best forensic accountant, it's going to take them a while to figure out. Come on.
Yeah. Let's just be clear here, because it was a Democrat that first came up with this whole phrase of illusion of access. There is no illusion. This is actual specific bank records and specific suspicious activity reports. The House Oversight Committee has released and has told us about 176 suspicious activity reports. John, most people will never get a suspicious activity report. This is a report that is by law the banks have to tell the Treasury when they see suspicious activity. In other words, a significant amount of money that's wired from overseas into an American's account. The Biden family got 176 of them. There is also witness testimony. There's no, there's no illusion. The witness testimony was real. A whistleblower was on the stand, and he testified that the Burisma head gave Joe Biden $5 million and Hunter Biden $5 million, saying $5 million to one Biden, $5 million to the other Biden to protect us. That's from Burisma. So the Democrats yesterday, that whole show of, comedy, it's really disheartening to see that they would not actually look at the evidence and actually look at this honestly. But it's all politics.
You're right. It's all politics. That's for sure. You can't hide that $15 million that was gained via access to Joe Biden, via improved access to the U.S. government. If, a corporate executive had done something like this, I know from being warned time and time again, that executive would be fired on the spot and, in addition, would face criminal charges. Here we're talking about a possible impeachment. This matter should not be taken lightly. And another disturbing aspect would be how the mainstream media seems to be ignoring this or playing it down. This is a very serious matter.
And that is the way they're getting away with it, Todd, because the mainstream media will not cover it. And so they're giving the Democrats cover to talk about something else, to make believe this is all, smoke and mirrors. One other specific issue that we need to mention is all of these emails and these text messages between Hunter Biden and Jim Biden. We just need your father's help with this. We'll work with your father. I mean, 10% for the big guy. These are all emails and text messages that we've seen firsthand. I'm willing to sign over my family's brand, writes Hunter Biden. The keys are my family's only asset. I mean, it's incredible, Todd.
What's infuriating to me is the contrast between this and the Bob Menendez situation. Biden and Menendez, both Democrats, but when it comes to Menendez, all Democrats are saying he's automatically guilty based upon the evidence presented. But they treat this evidence almost as if it doesn't exist. There is significant evidence here of Joe Biden wrongdoing. We need this impeachment inquiry to look into it. And the fact that they're so willing to turn a blind eye just shows how scared they are of Donald Trump getting back into that White House. They will do anything in their power to keep it from happening, including lying to the American people at a hearing yesterday.
Yeah, it's very disheartening.